Alright, the last thing I'm going to read, we had a story night in Providence where everybody was supposed to write like a letter to Santa, which of course ended up going haywire, but this is what I wrote for that. The baby. Santa Claus, North Pole. Dear Santa Claus, it's Reuben Dunkel. I haven't written to you in years, because really for a while I lost faith in you. And I don't want anything for myself, and even now I'm embarrassed to write to you like this. I just wanted to know if there was some way you could get the giant out of our yard. My mother is talking about selling the house now, and I don't want to move. And even though she won't say anything about it, I think that it's driving her crazy. I mean, it's only a baby giant. It used to cry all night, every night, and I was the only person who ever tried to take it food. I would take it peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and the leftovers from the mac and cheese, but it wasn't the right type of thing to feed a baby giant, and it made it throw up. When I asked my mother what the right type of thing was that one would feed a baby giant, she started screaming at me and throwing pots and saying, "It's not a baby, don't call it a baby, don't you dare feed it, it's a monster." But Mom gets upset about a lot of things now that she's going to the church in Derby. Everything's a sin now, and she speaks in tongues, and she tries to get me to speak in tongues, but it just doesn't feel right. She got all bent out of shape when Jimmy came over to play Atari, and she came into the living room and she told me I needed to talk to me in the bathroom. And I said, "Why do we have to talk in the bathroom?" And she said to whisper that Jimmy looks like a Chinese. And I said, "So?" And she said to whisper and that the Chinese don't believe in God. And I said, "They have a Christmas tree." But she just shook her head and looked mad. So I said, "He's not that Chinese, Mom. He's acing all the English tests and I'm only getting C's." And then she slapped me. So I walked out to where he was playing Pong or whatever and told Jimmy to come on, and we went to go ghost ride our bikes into the culvert. But whatever. I got slapped a lot then. I got slapped when the milk was empty one morning and my mom said that I was lying, that I didn't drink the whole gallon by myself. And I said, "Yeah, I did." And she pulled the curtain off the window and pointed to the giant of baby asleep in the yard. "You gave it to that monster," she screamed. And she went and looked out the window again and noticed Dad's old car cover draped over the giant. Size-wise, it was like a napkin on a dog. When she slapped me about Dad's car cover, I didn't see it coming, and I chipped one of my werewolf teeth. But it was just the car cover. My father was dead, and the Benz was gone, and it was getting cold, and what was I supposed to do? If I couldn't get the baby to sleep with some hot milk or something, it would just cry all night long until his voice got hoarse and started coughing. It was awful. I couldn't understand why nobody else would do anything. I went to Jersey for the weekend to see my cousin Sam, and we swiped this big sheet of plastic from a construction site. It was big enough that I could build a tent out of it for the giant, like the greenhouse we had at school. But I never got to use it, because when I got back from Jersey, the baby was dead. I went out, and I closed its eyes, and I got Jimmy and Arnold to come over with some shovels, and we started to dig a hole to give it a burial. But we'd only dug like 2 feet down when my mom came out yelling, telling them to go home, and telling me to get inside and do my homework. I said, "We're busy here, can't you see?" And my mother slapped me. Santa Claus, I spent my nights trying to dig that grave, but the ground got too hard to dig, and I couldn't quite tell, but it seemed like there was coyotes pacing in the bushes down the hill. I tried to make a pillow of leaves for the baby and position its head so its eyes were pointed at the sky rather than at the house, but it was too cold and too late. So I put a plastic sheet over the baby and staked it to the ground so it wouldn't blow away. I knew it was feeble, but maybe it would deter the bigger animals. It's been 3 months since then, and my mother hasn't mentioned the baby once. But she's been talking with people about the church, about putting our house on the market and renting something closer to Derby. But that's not really why she wants to move. She has church people over and they act like there's nothing out there, like there's nothing out the window. Like there's not an enormous blue baby frozen in the yard. It's so cold outside, Santa Claus. And I just feel so awful for this baby. Out there with the animals. Frozen fingernails. Frozen teeth. And all it had to save it. The only hope it really had were these stupid hands. I mean, I tried, you know. But what are you going to do? So I don't know. I suppose I don't even deserve any presents this year anyway. But Santa, if you could, would you take the baby away? For me. I'm the only one who seems to know. Who watches its skin get tough and its face hollow out. There's tracks that appear in the snow leading into and away from it. I'm the only one who seems to notice it thaw a little on the sunny days. So, if you come, could you please take this baby to a better place? That'd be nice. I don't know who else would do it. Reuben Dunkel. Thanks, guys.